Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Justin, and if you're new here, I make budget with me videos where I go through my budgeting process using a program or software called YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. I'm also phasing out Monarch Money, so in previous videos you might have heard me talking about that software. It's kind of just like kind of just like YNAB, where it imports your transactions, allows you to kind of automate your transaction tracking, organization, and budgeting. Personally, I just like everything, not everything, but I like almost everything YNAB has to offer, with the exception of some of the reports. On that, actually, before we get into that, I'll get into that here shortly. I want to thank you all. It has come to my attention that my channel has reached the 100 subscriber milestone. And although I did not create this channel to get subscribers, likes, to become famous or anything, I do really appreciate reaching that milestone. It lets me know that there are people out there, in fact, 100 of you, that care enough about what I put out there to follow along. Whether it's helping you in some way, whether it's giving you new ideas, that was the reason I created this channel. I wanted to be a voice, a male voice in budgeting, which you don't see very often, certainly on YouTube. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for sticking around, continuing to watch my stuff, continuing to engage in the comments. Keep it up. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything in my videos, you know that the comments is the place to have that conversation. And I try my best to interact with each and every comment that's left. And so let's keep it up. So with that said, I alluded to the fact that I almost like everything about YNAB. And the reason I say almost is because there are some reports that are in Monarch, one to be exact, that provides me a level of analysis that I have come to cherish. And that is this spending comparison chart. So I think I've shown this chart in a couple of videos of mine where I've, mentioned Monarch. But what I really like about this chart is that in one place, it allows me to look at my spending for the current month and compare it to a previous time period. You have this little drop-down menu that you can select from 3 different comparative pictures. I use these 2 at the bottom. Mainly, I use the this month versus last year. That's basically giving a comparative analysis with your current spending this month to the same month in the previous year to kind of see what your spending looks like. And then I also sometimes use the this month versus last month to kind of see from month to month what my spending looks like. I don't see much value in the week to week. That's a little bit too granular for me, but it gives you that option. So this is not a chart that's available in YNAB, whether that's the canned reports that YNAB puts together or the toolkit reports that the community has created. In the last week, I have come to know that there are other community-created resources that use the YNAB API. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google it, but essentially it's kind of this interface between the data that's in YNAB and allowing that data to be shared with other things. People much smarter than me in coding have created resources on that website. and none of them have a graph like this. And so I think 1 or 2 videos ago, I made mention to the fact that I'm going to create a chart like this because I'm filming this on Tuesday night, I think on the 17th. So I don't know, in like a week, next week, early next week, I will lose complete access to my Monarch. I'm not renewing. I didn't renew. And so with that, that means I'm going to lose access to this graph. And so creating it in a place that I can use was very important to me. And I accomplished doing just that. So I'm going to leave this graph up here. I'm going to bring up the graphs that I created on the right. So in my work, I make visualizations using Power BI. And so that is what I created these charts in on my personal computer. I'm not going to get into too much of the details, but essentially it is a way to bring in data and visualize it the way you need to. So as you can see, I had to create 2 separate charts, line charts. The limitations of this program didn't allow me to create a chart that had a drop down that would dynamically change what's visualized on that chart based on that drop down selection without having to refresh the data every time. And I just wasn't going to go through that. So I created 2 charts. These are the 2 options that I use the most: this month versus last year, and this month versus last month. So color scheme, almost identical. What it provides me, is identical. There are some minor differences. You'll see that on Monarchs, it has day 1, day 3, day 5, whatever. Whereas on Power BI, it has just numbers going on a different scale. Those things don't matter to me. I just want to be able to go and say, on the 5th, those were my numbers. On the 8th, those were my numbers. Today, those are my numbers. I also took this one step further. I'm a super nerd, and so I also enjoy coding. Python is a programming language or a coding language that I use a lot. And so I developed a Python code or Python script or program that will interact with the YNAB API. Again, a way to get your data and interact with it. My Python script will capture my transactions for the month, the current month. It will transform them because this is a spending only chart. And so it kicks out or deletes everything that is not expense related. So income, transfers, things like that. And then it ultimately creates a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet file for that month. I can run that as often as I'd like. Like I can run it every day if I want. I can run it once a week. I can run it once a month. It will write over. So it's always grabbing the data for the full month that we're in, which means it's always grabbing data that I already have. And so I have it programmed to overwrite the file that exists for that month. That way I don't have any duplicate. What I do with that is I have another spreadsheet that compiles all of that data. It aggregates it all together. And then that is what I bring into this program. So I have all of my spending data in this program, and I'm able to create these charts. So I do need to get updated transactions. So I'm going to show you how easy this is. This is my Python script that I created that will grab the transactions for the current month. Only takes a couple of seconds. it's done. So in 2 or 3 seconds, it grabbed all of my transactions for February. It found 12 of them and saved the file in this file path. So now I can just go to my combined expenses file, and you'll see that this looks familiar. And I just refresh all of this, and you'll see that now I have transactions from tonight or today. I got gas and I went to Chipotle for lunch. It also updated these charts as well, or these tables as well. Now I can save this file. This is the file, and these are the tables that this dashboard goes off of. So now I need to update and refresh this. So you'll see that my spending as of the 10th was $2347.89. I just refresh this, I'm gonna refresh everything. And just like that, I now have through the 11th, 2408.28, which if we go over to my YNAB, we look 2408.28. So just like that, that is how nerdy I am. And so this is something that I'm going to use a lot. Because now that I know that there is a way to create like web applications to allow other people outside of me to have access to these types of charts. I am going to try to learn more about that, because although I know a little bit about coding, I don't know enough about coding to create applications and things that are not like super simple like this. And I say this is simple. Some of you are probably like, what the heck is he talking about? But I'm happy that I created this. This is going to serve me well when I lose access to that chart. And with that, we have a paycheck to deal with. So 1834.54. Since my last video, I believe I sent in my last video $100 to extra paycheck or extra car payments because my gas was a couple dollars less than what I budgeted, and my dog food was about $13, $14 less than what I budgeted. I actually ended up sending about $114 instead of $100. So that is really the only change from that video. Obviously, I have some overspending. Typically, my overspending is just like eating out. I have, and actually, I don't like that view. I have a dedicated account at Capital One linked to a separate debit card that houses my discretionary spending. Even though I have 4 items here under my discretionary Capital One account, I only treat it as a discretionary account. So anytime I use this debit card, the money is there. I just need to transfer it from category to category. So technically it's not overspending because it's already accounted for. I just need to move that money. So I'm going to take this from discretionary and now I don't have any overspending. My balance here of 90.76 matches the balance that's listed over here for the account. So everything is all reconciled and good. So the first thing, this is the first paycheck of the month. And so I always jump ahead into the next month and I put half of my rent in a separate account so that I have that available. So I'm going to use this half fund 965. That is the only thing I'm going to fund in the next month. Let's see. So I'm filming this on Tuesday night. You'll see this on Wednesday, but I don't actually get paid till tomorrow. So every time I do this, I manually enter in the transaction, and then after the video, I adjust the date for the date of I getting paid. But my next paycheck is the 26th, so I need to cover everything that I can prior to the 26th when I get paid again. So that's going to include my car insurance, my internet, my car payment. Dog food is all taken care of. And I'll transfer this here in a second. I need to transfer this to my car fund. And there's something else I need to transfer as well. So what else? Yeah, I need to transfer that as well. So gas and grocery is good. Utilities, that's all taken care of. Car maintenance, not anything I need to do. Discretionary, I'll put $100 in next paycheck for next month. Emergency fund, none of that. Okay. So about half of this is going to go into those 3 items. Let me look at non-monthly, see if there's anything. So I'm on track. Oh, I feel like there's so much extra money left over that I feel like I'm missing something. I'm gonna go through everything else because this doesn't feel right. It'd be nice if I had $400 extra, but something doesn't feel right. All right, so nothing there. What happened? Nothing there. Credit cards. No, I'm gonna be making. So I have made a change the last month. I don't know that I've mentioned this on any video before, but a lot of people do this. So you've heard of the credit card float. I'm not floating. I am using my credit card basically for everything. Outside of using my discretionary debit card, all of my regular bills are being paid with my credit card. I'm doing that for 2 reasons. I upgraded my card to a rewards credit card. So I'm doing that to get some rewards points and dollars and stuff like that. But also, the last couple months, I have really struggled with my debit cards being compromised, like my card numbers being compromised. And the benefit of using a credit card is, yes, that charge hits the account, but that money is not gone, right? Until you make a payment, that money is not gone. Whereas if somebody gets a hold of your debit card, that money is out of your account the second they charge that card. And so, although my bank is very good about giving credits quickly while they investigate, it is still a huge hassle to have hundreds of dollars gone from your account. And so I'm using my credit card for just about everything, and I'm just making credit card payments throughout the month. It is something new for me. Normally, I'm used to just swiping the card and having that money gone out of my account. I actually ran into the problem earlier today where I had like $102 in my bill pay account, which is the account that I pay all of my bills out of. And I could not for the life of me remember what that money was for, because every dollar that's in that account is going to spend on a bill in the current month. I just couldn't remember what the heck I set aside $102 for. Well, it turned out I was setting aside the money in that account for making the credit card payment when I felt like making that. So it is an adjustment. I am going to try to find a way to track that better because YNAB, although it keeps track of the money that you need to put towards your credit card, sometimes it doesn't align well with my balances because I also have other bills. So I might try to create some way to track that better. But yeah, I wanted to kind of touch on that because I was in this area. So we're going to continue. Everything is fully spent, fully funded. In bill pay, gas and groceries, that's funded. Yeah, I haven't gone grocery shopping. It's almost halfway through the month and I haven't gone grocery shopping. Part of that is because I have been eating out a lot more than I normally do. But also I have a lot of leftover food from last month and just in general. And so I haven't had the need to go grocery shopping. I have had food to eat. So I don't think I'm going to need the full 200 that I set aside to get food unless I want to like splurge on extra stuff. But eventually I'll go grocery shopping. We'll see. Power. I'm good on power. I've already got that money in there set aside. So did I do one? I moved money out. 131. Yeah, I put money in there, so it's funded for this month. Sinking funds, everything is on track or fully spent. Card maintenance, I don't have anything for that. Pet expenses, nothing. Sinking fund discretionary, we've done everything for that. Emergency fund, I'm funded at 1,000, which is my goal. I don't do HSA. Again, this I think might be something that I don't think I've touched on. I don't have a high deductible plan anymore. And so technically, according to IRS law, I'm not allowed to put money in my HSA. So that $64 is just going to sit there until my next eye exam or dental exam, which whenever that'll be. But yeah, I can't put money in that. Retirement, that's another thing that I don't do outside of my work one. I work in government, so I have a pension plan. The way that Arizona does it, certainly for my industry, we're required by law to put a little over 12% of our income into a pension plan. The benefit of this type of pension plan and the way the law is written for Arizona in our industry is that the employer is also required to match that full just over 12%. And so that basically funds lifetime retirement if you reach that age. Gives you a lifetime benefit. And so 12% for my budget right now is more than I'm able to put aside, given all of the other things that I have going on with my budget. And so it might be a while before I put things into retirement, like my personal retirement accounts. I don't track those accounts on here. So although they say my balances are zero, they're not zero. I have money in them. I just don't track them on here. Extra car payments. That's where the extra money is going to go. I just need to make sure that I don't have anything else. So I'm not doing savings goals. That's just a placeholder. That's a placeholder. Yeah, I feel really weird to have that much extra, $400. But let me take a look. I'm going to take a look at next month. Yeah. I think this is just I think I've just got myself in a really good spot that I have a lot of extra money. And so this $396.05 is going to go into my $396. I'm going to go into that extra car payments. So that means I have a little over 2,100 in that account. My first payment is going to be I think the 25th, so in a couple weeks. It's good to know that I have about 10, I think like about 10 months worth of monthly payments. So if, the floor drops from underneath me, I can at least make car payments for the next 10 months without having to worry about not being able to make a payment. I'm still toying with the idea of how large I'm going to let this get before I make principal payments. So one of my viewers suggested maybe not making principal payments every month or regularly, just in case that money is needed for something else that my emergency fund can't cover. That is sound advice. I think it was a very good suggestion. And so I have implemented that into my system. I'm just trying to figure out how large of a balance do I want to get before I'm comfortable making a payment. And whether that, maybe I do something like every $5,000, I make a $4,000 payment or a $3,000 payment. That way I'm not dumping all of that money towards the car and I'm saving some just in case. But I'm still making large principal payments. That might be the route I go. Still up in the air. Again, I haven't needed to make a payment yet, and I'm still 2 weeks away from having to make a payment. So now what I want to do is I need to transfer some of these dollars. So I have an extra $4. Gas was only 46 to fill up today. So I have an extra $4 there. And then dog food, I had an extra $13.71. So these both were the extra money that I sent to my extra car payments. So I'm going to find that because I don't actually remember what I called it. Was it debt? Yeah, extra car payments. So we'll move that. And then, actually, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do it that way. The only other thing I could do is just move it to ready to assign and then assign it out. But I think either way, it'll get there. I just don't know what this will impact in the reporting. So we'll keep an eye on that. The goal on this was 50, so I'm going to snooze that target because it'll scream at me. And I don't want that. All right. So what's under? Well, yeah, I want to see what's underfunded. So I'm going to snooze this because I've already taken care of that. I already put the $100 in for February right there. But because I've been spending out of it, it says I'm below budget. So yeah, I am. All of my February bills are paid for or funded in some way. This is a very unique place for me to be in. Like I've never been this far ahead and still also had extra money to throw at things. So we had $400 extra, and I'm also almost a full month funded. I don't think I would have been in this position had it not been for YNAB. Monarch, I don't think would have gotten me to that point because Monarch's budgeting system is just so different. I absolutely love YNAB, and this is the reason why. I've only been using it since mid-November, so really December, January, and 2 weeks into February, and I am almost a month ahead. I love this thing. I love being able to show you guys that it doesn't take very much effort to get into a good position with your finances, no matter where you're coming from, right? A year or 2 years ago, I was spending thousands of dollars more every month than I am this year and the tail end of last year. And so let me be the light at the end of the tunnel for you. You can go from tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, spending more than you're making, not knowing if you're going to be able to put a roof over your head, food on the table, to within a year or two being in a position where we are almost a full month funded ahead and I have $400 extra to throw at my car. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So with that, I'm going to end this video. Stay tuned for my next week video. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a whole lot of extra income this month. I've been taking some time off of doing extra stuff. I've kind of really burned myself out. And so I have a week to decide what I'm going to video next week. Maybe I'll have a little bit of extra income, but if I don't, I'm sure I'll come up with something to put out there. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.